Hello students, I am Shahin Mehmood, currently studying MBBS from College of Medicine and JNM Hospital, Kalyani, and today I will explain the botany section of full test 9. So let's start with question number 101. So it is saying the pollen grains are haploid male gametophyte, diploid male gametophyte, haploid male gametophyte, or diploid female gametophyte. So the pollen grains, basically, what are these? These are basically the microscopic structure that carries the male gamete. That carries what? Male gamete. And that is present in plant cell. So the pollen grains are haploid. So basically these are N, denoted by N, and these are male gametophyte. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving to the next question. Red tide is caused by, and the options given are Anabina, Euglena, Gonialax, or Amoeba. So basically, red tides are caused by dinoflagellates. So the example of dinoflagellate is Gonialax. So third option will be your correct answer. That we can see it very often. You can search this on YouTube. You can see these very good pictures on Google as well about the red tide. So third option, Gonialax, will be our correct answer, because they have a rapid multiplication property and which cause them the make sea appear red. So basically the toxin are released by large number, and it is dangerous as well because it also kills other marine animals such as fishes. So third option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 103. It is saying, which of the following is correct? In Pinus, male and female cone strawberry born on the same tree. So basically this statement is correct actually. Next, it is saying that in Cycas, male cone and megasporophyll born on the same tree. So it is also correct statement. And last statement is saying, third number statement is saying, Cycas plants are dioecious. So it is also correct statement. So which of the following statements are correct? So all of these. The fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. I have a very small trick during my time because I used to become confused between Pinus and Cycas. So I have a trick that PM, Prime Minister, you all know PM. So basically Pinus. So here P here refers to Pinus and M is monoecious. So basically that's why they born on the male and female cone, strawberry born on the same tree. So you can remember like that PM, Pinus, and that is monoecious. And CD. CD how? CD, we know that compact disc CD used to play. So CD is C for Cycas and D for dioecious. So that's how I used to remember during my time. You can apply this to just remember purpose. So yeah. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question. The monocots can be distinguished easily from dicots by estivation, phyllotaxy, venation, or none. So monocots, we know that monocots have a venlets and these are parallel venation. Monocots have parallel venation. So by easily looking at the venation, we can distinguish between monocot and dicot. So third option will be our correct answer from the question. And when it is called parallel, so when the veins run parallel to each other within a lamina, the venation is termed as parallel. And the leaves of dicotyledonous plants generally possess reticulate venation, while parallel venation is characteristic of monocot plants. So that's why by easily looking at the venation, we can distinguish. Moving towards the next question, 105. So it is saying that apocarpus condition is found in lotus and mango, tomato and rose, mustard and tomato, or lotus and rose. So apocarpus condition, what does it mean? What does it mean? That it means that when more than one carpel. So basically when more than one carpel is present, and they may be free, as in lotus and rose, and these are called basically apocarpus. So lotus and rose will be our correct answer. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. So moving to the next question. Semilunar patches of sclerenchyma are found in dicot stem, dicot root, monocot root, or all of this. So first we have to understand what is semilunar patches. So basically semilunar patches means that pericycle is present in the inner side of endodermis. So suppose it's the endodermis and pericycle is present and above the phloem in the form of semilunar patches. So basically pericycle is present on the inner side of endodermis and above the phloem in the form of semilunar patches of sclerenchyma in dicot stem. So that's why the correct option for this question will be first option. In dicot stem, semilunar patches of sclerenchyma you can see. Moving towards the next question, 107. So you have to match the column. Amyloplast. So amyloplast is basically matched with carbohydrate. So it is carbohydrate. Sorry. Amyloplast is a type of carbohydrate. Then elaioplast is related with fat. Then aleuroplast. Aleuroplast is name saying aleurone layer. We have read in plant reproduction chapters. Aleurone layer. Aleuroplast is definitely related with some kind of protein. And then chromoplast. Chromo is chromogen. We know that chromo means color. So this is related with xanthophyll. Then chloroplast, we know that it is related with chlorophyll. So matching all the options. Second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 108. It is saying when the chromosome is situated in the middle of two arms of the chromosomes are referred as telocentric, metacentric, apocentric, or metacentric. So when the centromere is situated in the middle of two equal arms, suppose like this, equal kind of arms we try to make. So this kind of chromosome is called as metacentric chromosome. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Rest all the options are not correct because they have different kind of presentation. Moving towards the next question, 109. It is saying which of the following statement is correct with respect to plant cell. In plant cell wall formation starts in the center of the cell. It is actually correct statement because we know that in plant cell what happens is the primary cell wall and this is the secondary cell wall. This is how we can verify this statement. Now next is saying that the formation of new cell wall begins with the formation of a simple precursor called cell plate. It is also correct statement. So the formation of new cell wall begins with the formation of a simple precursor cell plate and that represents the middle lamella between the walls of two adjacent cells. Cell plate represents the middle lamella between the two walls of adjacent cells, which is basically also a correct statement. So all of the statements are correct. So fourth option will be a correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, it is saying that how many meiotic divisions would be required to be produced 50 synergids in angiosperms. So basically we know that synergids are present like this. So and one meiotic division produce two synergids. So is one meiotic division produce two synergids. So how many meiotic divisions are required to produce 50 synergids? 25. 25 will be our correct answer of this question. So this is a structure as you can visualize that I have discussed, which is a mature female gametophyte and synergids help in fertilization basically. And along with egg, it also forms egg apparatus. That's the additional information we can know about synergids. So moving to the next question, 111. It is saying that which of the following is not a characteristic feature during mitosis in the somatic cell? Mitosis, it is saying. So chromosome movement, synapses, spindle fibers, disappearance of nucleus. So this basically chromosome movements, spindle fiber, disappearance of nucleus all happens in mitosis, but we have to find which is not characteristic feature of mitosis. So synapses, second option will be our correct answer for this question because we can see synapses in prophase 1 of meiosis. Moving towards the next question, 112. It is saying that the phase of cell cycle is a period of intense synthesis and growth. It constitutes the 95% duration of cell cycle. So basically it is called as interphase. Rest, telophase, prophase, anaphase, phase all are M phase, mitotic phase, and it just constitutes the rest of the 5%. Interface constitutes most of the question, that is 95%. What does this interface mean? So basically it's the preparation for the cell to make it division. So this is the preparation phase, and preparation needs more time. As you can see, you are preparing for NEET, and that is taking like some are taking 1 year, 2 years, some are taking drop like 3 years. So basically it takes more time. At the NEET exam, that is just a 1 day, 3 hour. Yeah, so basically that is how it works. Moving towards the next question, 130. It is saying that what is the pyrenoid? So basically, what are the pyrenoids? That it is the statements are saying pigment containing body for photosynthesis, food storage body, and then third statement pigment containing body for respiration, and last statement gamete producing structure in physiology. So what are basically these pyrenoids are? So pyrenoids basically are, we know that in chlorophyll most of the members have one or more storage bodies, and these are called pyrenoids. These are basically located in chloroplast, located in the surface of chloroplast, and pyrenoids contain protein beside starch. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 140. It is saying in transverse section, a typical microsporangium appears dash in outline. It is generally surrounded by dash wall layer. So basically in transverse section, a typical microsporangium near circular in outline, and it is generally surrounded by 4 layers of the layers are epidermis, endodermis, middle layers, and tapetum. Sorry, epidermis, endothecium, middle layers, and tapetum. So the option for this question will be second option will be our correct answer for this question. This question is directly prepared from the lines of NCERT. So you have to read the NCERT multiple times. Moving towards the next question, 150. It is saying large, colorful, fragrant flowers with nectar are seen in vine pollinated flower, insect pollinated flower, bud pollinated flower, or bat pollinated flower. Basically, the option for this correct answer, option for this will be second option. Option for this question, second option will be our correct answer for this question. So why, just think that why the flowers should need to be large, colorful, fragrant with nectar? Because you have to offer some rewards to the insect and you have to attract them. So to attract the insects, a flower offers that nectar, and it also fragrance. You know that fragrance attract insects, and along with that it is colorful and fragrant and large, so that insect can see it. So that's why it is saying that large, colorful, and fragrant flowers with nectar are seen in insect pollinated flowers. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 160. A gene showing codominance has alleles that are recessive to each other. Both alleles independently expressed in the heterozygote. One allele dominant on other allele is tightly linked on the same chromosome. So what does basically codominance mean? So basically here codominance means that the phenomenon of expression of both the alleles in a heterozygote is called codominance. In alleles which do not show dominance, recessive relationship and are able to find themselves independently when present together are called codominant alleles. So suppose just taking by taking an example, I will try to explain that in blood group, AB blood group, both the expression of A and B we can see, and this is basically called the codominance, because there no one, this B gene is not recessive, this A gene is not dominant. So both are equally expressive, and basically both the alleles are independently expressed in the heterozygous condition. That's why it is showing codominance. So second option will be our correct answer for this question, that both the expression can be seen independently. That's why it is calling, you can call this codominance. Moving towards the next question, 107. Condition of a karyotype 2n plus 1, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2 are called. This type of condition of a karyotype are basically called aneuploidy. So first option will be the correct answer for this question, that aneuploidy is a condition characterized by deviation from the normal chromosome number 2n in a cell nucleus occurring due to failure of segregation of chromatid at the time of cell division. So the other options polyploidy, alloploidy, monosomy are not correct. So monosomy we can see is the monosomy condition, nalisomy, trisomy and tetrasomy as well. So first option will be a correct answer for this question. Polyploidy means basically the increase in chromosome number. Moving towards the next question, 180. So it is saying that in F2 generation of a Mendelian dihybrid cross, the number of phenotypes and genotypes are phenotype 4, genotype 16, phenotype 9, genotype 4, phenotype 4, genotype 8, phenotype 4, genotype 9. So basically, fourth option will be a correct answer for this question. We will try to explain it shortly. You can read the explanation here. It is the whole NCERT explanation is quoted here. You can see that a cross involving two pairs of contrasting characteristics are called dihybrid cross, and the results obtained here you can see. So basically, this is the result obtained for genotype. Genotype are obtained from the above cross are this. These are basically the genotypes. You can see 9 different kind of genotypes, and these are basically the phenotypes. You can see basically the phenotypes: round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, or wrinkled green. So that's why fourth option will be a correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 190. With regard to mature mRNA in eukaryotes, which of these options is correct basically? So exons and introns do not appear in the mature RNA. It is not correct because we know that exons basically appear in mature RNA because these are basically the coding sequences. And the next option is saying exons appear but introns do not appear in the mature RNA. It is correct answer, correct statement. Then it is saying introns appear but exons do not appear in the mature RNA. It is not correct because introns, basically what are these? Introns or intervening sequences. These are non-coding sequences. That's why they do not appear in mature RNA. And the functional coding sequences, which are called exons, they appear in mature RNA. And splicing is basically the process of introns and fusion of exons to form functional RNAs. Both exons and introns appear in mature RNA. This is also not correct. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 120. Which of the following statement is correct? Adenine pairs with thymine through 2 hydrogen bonds. So adenine base pairs with thymine through 2 hydrogen bonds. It's absolutely correct. Let's read other options as well. Adenine pairs with thymine through 1 hydrogen bond, not correct. Adenine pairs with thymine through 3 hydrogen bond, it is also not correct. Adenine doesn't pair with thymine, it is also not correct. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. We know that guanine base pairs with cytosine through 3 hydrogen bonds. Moving towards the next question, 121. So which of the following group of codons called as stop codons? So these are the examples given here: UAA, UAG, UGA, GUG, UG, GAA, UUC, EUG, CUG, UUA, UG, CUG. So these are basically the options given. So first let's understand that what does this stop codon mean. So stop codon basically means that these are basically nonsense codon or termination codon, and these do not code for any amino acids, and these are basically UAA, UAG and UG. The first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, that a nucleotide differs from a nucleoside it lacks the base, sugar, phosphate group, hydroxyl group. Basically it lacks phosphate group. So third option will be our correct answer for this question, that when phosphate group of nucleotide removed by hydrolysis, the structure remaining as nucleoside. Moving towards the next question, 120. It is saying, according to Robert May, the global species diversity is about 1.5 million, 20 million, 50 million, or 7 million. So according to Robert May, this is a scientific explanation. So it is saying that the global species diversity is about 7 million. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 124. Match the column. It is saying that molecular oxygen, then electron acceptor, pyruvate dehydrogenase decarboxylation. So let's understand each one by one. So basically in plants, photolysis of water takes place and molecular oxygen is made available. So it acts as hydrogen acceptor. So molecular oxygen is basically a hydrogen acceptor. Moving towards the next, it is saying electron acceptor. So cytochrome C found in mitochondria, it transfers electrons between complex 3 and complex 6. That's why it is called as electron acceptor. So electron acceptor. These are options of this slightly rearranged or disfigured here, so you can make them arranged as well. Next is saying that pyruvate dehydrogenase. So pyruvate dehydrogenase is the first component of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, and this complex contribute to transform pyruvate into acetyl coenzyme A by a process called as pyruvate decarboxylation. This step connects glycolysis to Krebs cycle. Basically, pyruvate dehydrogenase is acetyl coenzyme. Then lastly, it is saying decarboxylation. Oxidative decarboxylation of alpha-ketoglutarate acid in presence of coenzyme A leads to formation of succinyl coenzyme A. This is a step of Krebs cycle. This will alpha-ketoglutarate acid. So matching all the options, we can get that 124. First option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 125. It is saying that PCA cycle starts with dash of acetyl group with oxaloacetic acid and water to yield dash. So the PCA cycle, it means it is basically talking about the Krebs cycle. Tricarboxylic acid cycle starts with the condensation of acetyl group with oxaloacetic acid and water to yield citric acid, and this reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme citrate synthase and the molecule of coenzyme A is released. So our answer for this question will be fourth option, condensation and citric acid. Moving towards the next question, 126. To match the column 1 with column 2. So first is auxin. So basically auxin controls the xylem differentiation and helps in cell division. So auxin is matching with xylem differentiation. The next is cytokinin. Cytokinin promotes nutrient mobilization, which helps in delay of leaf senescence. So cytokinin will be related to nutrient mobilization. Next is ethylene. Ethylene promotes root growth and shoot hair formation, thus helping the plants to increase their absorption surface. Ethylene is related with root formation. Then the lastly, abscisic acid. So abscisic acid helps seeds to withstand desiccation and other factors unfavorable for growth. So abscisic acid, seed development. So looking towards the all options, we can see 126. First option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 126. The constantly dividing cells both at root apex and shoot apex represent the dash phase of growth. So basically this represent meristematic elongation or maturation or differentiation. So this represent the meristematic phase of growth. The first option will be our correct answer for this question. The cells in these regions are rich in protoplasm, possess large conspicuous nuclei. That's why it is called as meristematic phase or dividing phase. You may confuse with the options that elongation, maturation, differentiation. If you read the NCERT, you will not be confused. You can see that the lines are clearly taken from that place or that book. So first option, meristematic phase or dividing phase, will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 128. Penicillin was the first antibiotic to be discovered. The reason is given. Alexander Fleming observed a mold growing in one of his unwashed culture plate around which Staphylococcus could not grow. So if you put here that because you can see it doesn't explain that why this is the first antibiotic to be discovered. So both the statements are correct. Penicillin was the first antibiotic to be discovered. It is correct. The reason is saying that Alexander Fleming observed a bone growth in its unwashed culture plates around which Staphylococci could not grow. It is also correct, but it doesn't seem so. The reason is not verifying the assertion. So that's why we will take the answer as the second option. That assertion and reason both are correct, but reason is not the correct explanation of this assertion. Second option. Moving towards the next question, 129. So first option is given. We have to match the column column 1 with column 2. Microbial products, microorganism, and the spectrum. So yeah, citric acid obtained from the fungus Aspergillus niger. So Aspergillus niger. Second option will be our correct answer. Then cyclosporine is produced by Trichoderma polyspora. Trichoderma polyspora. Then statins. So statins are basically found from Monascus purpurus. And lastly, butyric acid. Butyric acid is produced by the bacterium Clostridium butylicum. So first option will be our correct. Sorry, D is first. So matching with all the options, we can see that second option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving to the next question, which is 130. It is saying that in summer, when outside temperature is more, our body temperature we sweat profusely. This statement is correct because in summer we know that we sweat profusely. Now how I am sweating because the temperature here in my place is like more than 40 degrees centigrade, and the reason is given. Sweating helps in thermoregulation and brings up the body temperature, which is actually not correct because it doesn't bring up the body temperature. So if we read the explanation, the resulting evaporative cooling, similar to what happens in desert, cooler in operation, brings down. So basically, it brings down the body temperature. So the question is correct, but reason is not correct. The first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 131. It is saying that deep more than 500 meters in oceans, the environment is dark and its inhabitants are not aware of existence of a celestial source of energy called sun, geothermal vents, photosynthesis, or water vents. So imagine a ocean in 500 meters below the surface. So basically, the inhabitants there doesn't know that sun exists as well. The sun exists because the water in this place, sunlight doesn't reach here. So that's why the inhabitants are not aware of the existence of a celestial source of energy called sun. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 132. So natality refers to death rate, birth rate, number of individuals leaving the habitat, number of individuals entering the habitat. So natality simply refers to number of births during a given period in a population that are added to the initial density. The second option will be our correct answer for this question. And if we want to explain the other options as well, immigration is the number of individuals entering a habitat, and emigration is the number of individuals of the population that left the habitat and had gone elsewhere during the time period. And death rate is basically what? It is basically death rate or mortality is the number of death in a population during a given time period. The second option will be the correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 133. It is saying that detritus food chain may be connected with grazing food chain at some levels, and the assertion is saying some of the organisms or detritus food chain are prey to grazing food chain animals. As a stand reason, the options are given. So basically, we need to understand these two statements that detritus food chain may be connected with the grazing food chain at some levels. Some of the organisms of DFC are prey to GFC animals. So these are the two statements you have to verify. So what happens that the detritus food chain begins with dead organic matter. So it begins with dead organic matter, and it is made up of decomposers which are heterotrophic organisms, mainly fungi and bacteria. They meet their energy and nutrient requirement by degrading dead and organic matter or detritus. That's why assertion is correct, reason is also correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Want to understand this question through an example, we can take an example here that we know that sparrows are a part of detritus food chain, and fox preying on sparrows connects the food chain of sparrow and fox. So detritus food chain can be connected with grazing food chain at some levels because some of the organisms of DFC can be prey to the GFC animals. These interconnections are known as, we know that these are known as food web. That's why both the statements are correct and the reason is correct for assertion. It is correctly verifying. So moving towards the next question, that is 134. 134. It is saying the broadly divided three categories of dash components of ecosystems are producers, consumers, and decomposers: biotic, abiotic, terrestrial, or aquatic. So basically, biotic describes the living component of an ecosystem. For example, organisms such as plants and animals. Examples, you can see water, light, soil, etc. So these are basically the components of ecosystem. It is biotic. So first option will be your correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 135, ICBN. ICBN stands for International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. Then it is saying International Congress of Biological Names, Indian Code of Botanical Nomenclature, Indian Congress of Biological Names. So if you see all the options, you may think that everything is correct. But if you read the NCERT and know the actual answer, that it stands for International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. So first option will be a correct answer for this question. The examiner may play with one more thing, that it is saying Indians, you may think this is obviously incorrect. But अगर यहाँ पे Indian के जगह अगर यहाँ पे इंटरनेशनल कोड ऑफ बोटानिकल नोमेनक्लेचर दिया होता और ऑप्शंस में ये भी दिया होता इंटरनेशनल कोड फॉर बोटानिकल नोमेनक्लेचर, तो यहाँ पे तो कंफ्यूज हो ही जाते। बेसिकली इसीलिए आपको एनसीईआरटी को ज्यादा से ज्यादा पढ़ना है, उसको देख विजुअलाइज भी करना है कि कैसे कैसे वहां से इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन भी बन सकते हैं, ऑप्शंस से भी किस तरीके से प्ले किया जा सकता है। इस क्वेश्चन कितना सिंपल है, आईसीबीएम सबको याद रहता है कि इंटरनेशनल कोड फॉर बोटानिकल नोमेनक्लेचर ये क्या था कि ये बेसिकली इज अ सेट ऑफ रूल्स एंड रिकमेंडेशन डीलिंग विद द formal botanical names given to a plant, and ICBN stands for this. So first option will be the correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next part, section B of botany, that 136. Bacteriophages are usually circular RNA virus, single-stranded RNA virus, single-stranded DNA virus, or double-stranded DNA virus. You can see that very familiar structure like this. These are basically the bacteriophages. Just make a diagram. And bacteriophages are double-stranded DNA virus that infect bacteria. Transduction is done by bacteriophages. So 136, fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question. Read the following statements and choose the correct option. It is saying that gymnosperms are heterosporous. It is correct. Next, it is saying that Prothallas is a gametophyte, free-living photosynthetic structure formed in pteridophyte. It is also correct that Prothallas is basically a gametophyte. It is free-living photosynthetic structure formed in pteridophyte. You can see this Prothallas in pteridophyte. Next, it is saying that mosses possess vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Moss doesn't produce vascular tissue, xylem and phloem because mosses basically are bryophyte, and bryophyte doesn't possess the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Pteridophyte possess vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. Mosses doesn't. So this is a wrong statement. Next, it is saying that mosses are of great ecological importance. It is correct statement. So as we can see that first, second, and fourth statements are correct, and third is incorrect. The second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 138. It is saying that a typical flower has 4 different kinds of horde arranged successfully on the swollen end of the stalk called receptacle, carpel, pedicle, pedicel, or calyx. So if we visualize this as a structure, suppose this is like something like this. Somewhat like this is the sepals, this is the female reproductive part, and this part is basically the receptacle. This part is basically the receptacle. So what does it mean? That a typical flower has 4 different kind of hole arranged successively on swollen end of the stalk called receptacle, and single stalk of flower is called pedicle. So first option will be a correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 139. Phloem parenchyma cells have characteristics like broad cells and with nucleus, then elongated cell and with nucleus, dense cytoplasm, tapering cells. So phloem parenchyma cells basically have characteristics like elongated cell along with nucleus. It also have dense cytoplasm and tapering ends. So fourth option will be a correct answer for this question. Phloem parenchyma cells. Moving towards the next question. 140. So tracheids differ from other tracheid elements in having Casparian strips, being imperforate, lacking nucleus, or being nucleated. Basically, what are these tracheids? We can just have a structure like this. So basically, these are the tracheids. These are basically xylem cells and helps in transportation of water and nutrients as well. It basically gives the mechanical support towards the cell, and these are imperforate. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. That tracheids differ from other tracheary elements like vessels and all. So being imperforate, it can be differentiated. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question. Read the given statements regarding a cell organelle. Let's read out. A cell, it contains water, sap, excretory products, and other unwanted materials. So it seems for vacuole. Let's read other statements as well to confirm the cell organelle. It is bounded by a single membrane called tonoplast. It is also true for, it also goes with vacuole. Next, in plant cell, it can occupy up to 90% of the cellular volume. It is also correct for vacuole. So the above features are attributed to lysosome, vacuole, peroxisome, or mitochondria. The second option will be a correct answer, which is vacuole. Going towards the next question, 142. It is saying that ribosomes are formed of rRNA, tRNA, mRNA, tRNA, rRNA, protein, mRNA, or protein. Basically, these are the two options. You may get confused. rRNA or protein, mRNA or protein. Because you know the ribosomes have protein along with RNA. So rRNA, what is the full form of rRNA? This is ribosomal RNA. So what is the point of confusion if you know all this? Ribosomal RNA and protein. So third option will be our correct answer for this question. The ribosomes are formed of rRNA and protein. Moving towards the next question, 143. Which of the following statements are true about metaphase? It is saying nuclear envelope assembles around the chromosome clusters. It is not correct. Nucleolus Golgi complex in ER form. It is basically correct for telophase but not for metaphase. Now the next bit is saying that chromosome cluster at opposite poles. It is also correct for anaphase but not for metaphase. Lastly, it is saying that chromosomes arranged at equator. It is a correct statement. You know that metaphase. If we write the diagram, this is basically the correct representation of the metaphase that chromosomes are arranged in equator. That's why the fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. That only D. Not A, B are not correct, A, B, D are correct, A, B, C are correct. So D option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, which of the following is essential for photolysis of water? Manganese, zinc, copper or boron? So manganese or chlorine is essential for water splitting reaction in photosynthesis. That's why it is essential for photolysis of water. Manganese. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 145. Identify the different parts of a typical dicot embryo labeled as A, B and C and mark the correct option. Let's see A, B and C. So this A here represents plumule and here this B represents cotyledons. And this C here represents, basically you can see this root cap is given, that means obviously it will be radical. So considering all this, first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 146. It is saying that Down syndrome is caused by the presence of an addition of copy of chromosome number 21, trisomy 21. Assertion is correct. The statement is perfectly correct. Now the reason is given that Langton Down described this disorder in 1866, noting characteristics such as short stature, small round head, furrowed tongue, partially open mouth, broad palm with characteristic crease and retardation in physical, psychomotor and mental development. Basically, this is also correct. But if you see the example, reason doesn't adequately explain the assertion. Why it doesn't explain? Because it is saying that the Down syndrome is caused by the presence of an additional copy of chromosome. So in this reason, this यहाँ पे बेसिकली क्या हो रहा है, अगर आपको अच्छे से समझना चाहो आप इसको, रीजन में यहाँ पे यह क्यों होता है कि एडिशनल कॉपी ऑफ क्रोमोसोम 21, ये यहाँ पे अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया हुआ है. यहाँ पे बस इसके फीचर्स को एक्सप्लेन किया गया है. सो द फीचर्स ऑफ डाउन सिंड्रोम डिस्क्राइब्ड देयर इन दिस रीजन, but not why this copy of chromosome, presence of chromosome additional copy is present in Down syndrome. It is not explained here. So both the statements are correct, but reason is not adequate for assertion. That's why second option will be our correct answer for this question. Both assertion and reason are correct, but reason is not the correct explanation for assertion. It's easy one basically. You don't need to confuse. So moving towards the next question, 147. It is saying that dash, such a disorder is caused due to absence of one of the X chromosome, 45 with X0, such as female, dash as ovaries are rudimentary. So this disorder where we can see that one of the X chromosome is absent and this kind of karyotype is present 45 with X0. This can be seen in Turner syndrome. And this basically Turner syndrome, what happens that Turner syndrome is a disorder caused by the absence of X chromosome, and you can see that 45 with X0. And so such females are sterile as ovaries are rudimentary. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. You know that Down syndrome, trisomy 21, Klinefelter syndrome, that is the presence of one more X chromosome. Edwards syndrome is basically the extra chromosome in chromosome number 16. Sorry, not chromosome 16, it's extra chromosome 18. Chromosome number 18, not 16. Correct. Moving towards the next question, 148. Let's discuss 148. It is saying that column 1 with column 2 have to match. So scientist name is given and their discovery. So first one is Taylor and its colleagues. So Taylor and its colleague proved that DNA replicates semi-conservatively. So DNA replicates semi-conservatively, Taylor and colleagues. Next is Hershey and Chase. So Hershey and Chase, what they given that DNA is the genetic material. DNA is the genetic material. Next is Griffith's genetic experiment. So Hershey and Martha Chase also worked with T2 bacteriophage and determined that DNA is the genetic material. You have to quote that. Now next is Griffith's genetic material. So what Griffith gives us, it gives us transforming principle, and we performed a series of transforming experiments by using the rough and smooth strains of Streptococcus pneumoniae. You have to remember that Streptococcus pneumoniae. Many times questions will be to ask here, ask this question that which organisms Griffith used to experiment. So to establish the nature of genetic material. So Griffith goes with transforming principle. Now the last is Jacob and Monod. So Jacob and Monod basically gives that the proposed that operand model in bacteria and received Nobel Prize as well. So lac operand. Matching all these options, we can get that 148. Second option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the question number 149. Bacteriophage lambda has base pairs 48,500 to 48,205, 5,386, 4,338. Basically, this is the question. This is the question I am thinking that this kind of database question, you have to remember each and every data given in this NCERT. So if this kind of question can be asked here, you have nothing to do. If you don't know the answer, you can't attempt. अगर आपको आंसर पता नहीं है, अगर आपने नहीं पढ़ा एनसीईआरटी अच्छे से, एक एक चीज को आप ध्यान से नहीं पढ़े, तो इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं कर सकते. क्योंकि यहाँ पे आप देखिए ऑप्शंस के साथ कैसे प्ले किया गया है. 48,500 टू 48,205. पहले चीज में आप कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे कि आपने पढ़ा था कि हाँ 48,000 कुछ तो था, लेकिन पता नहीं कि क्या था उसके बाद. तो ये पहले ऑप्शंस में आपको कंफ्यूज कर देंगे. तो अगर आपने अच्छे से पढ़ा है तो आपको पता है कि बैक्टीरियोफेज लैम्डा जो होते हैं उसके पास 48,502 बेस पेयर्स होते हैं. सो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन जो होगा इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर होगा. क्योंकि यहाँ पे कुछ समझने वाला बात है ही नहीं. यहाँ पे इस क्वेश्चन के लिए तो आप कुछ समझ नहीं सकते ना, सारे क्वेश्चन को ऐसे अंडरस्टैंड नहीं किया जा सकते. उस क्वेश्चन जो डेटाबेस्ड होता है उसको आपको याद करना ही होगा. तो इस चीज का क्वेश्चन अभी नीट में आ रहा है तो आपको इसको कंसिडर करना है. इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन ये आप छोड़ नहीं सकते. आसान क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पे, ये हार्ड क्वेश्चन कैटेगरी में बिल्कुल नहीं जाएगा. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 150. Dash. In this approach, threatened animals and plants are taken out from their natural habitat and placed in species setting where they can be protected and given special care. So यहाँ पे बोला जा रहा है कि threatened animals and plants are taken out. Taken out का मतलब होगा कि taking out from the natural habitat and then protect them in a safe place. So this kind of conservation is ex situ conservation. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. So this concludes the explanation part of the full test 9 of botany. I hope you understand all the explanation and keep asking doubts, keep attempting the test series. All the best.